war. Ever since the Air Nomad temples were attacked by Fire Lord Sozin, the world has been in chaos. The Southern Water Tribe fights for survival, as the Earth Kingdom seeks to hold off the Fire Nation army. But even with no Avatar in sight, there is still hope. Who will answer the call, and who will bring forth a new era of peace?
Welcome back to Avatar Legends Legacy of Heroes, Arc 3! I'm your GM, Josh, and I am joined by my wonderful friends, Cass, Megan, Morgan, and Josh.
Did you say you're the GM, Josh, and then you said Josh again?
You're right, take two, start over. Hi, welcome to Avatar Legacy Legends of Heroes. Fuck!
Nope, alright, well, that's two Oz.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Avatar Legends Legacy of Heroes, Arc 3, The 100 Years War. I'm your GM, Josh, joined by my wonderful friends, Josh, and Josh.
Well, I guess that's it. That's the take three. We use that one. That's a good. Wonderful. But yes, welcome back. I'm joined by Cass, Megan, Morgan, and Oz, if you want their real names.
No, mine's actually Josh.
Oh no, okay.
Oops, all Josh.
Quickly. Yeah. That's what we'll do for like the one shots. They'll just change everyone's name to Josh.
Oh, that would be so funny.
Anyway. If you haven't caught up to where we are for some weird reason, you can always head back to our previous episodes to see those. Or if you just need a quick recap, I will be providing it this time around because it's about time we get back into that. Previously on Avatar Legends Legacy of Heroes, on the journey out of that town where Onomu and the Armadillo Bears were sort of getting into a conflict, our heroes journeyed, met back up with Sakari, and kind of ran into a iteration of the Rough Rhinos, not the one that we know from the show, but sort of like a predecessor type version of them. After a bit of a scuffle in which Taibo first sent them off. No, it wasn't Taibo. Benjiro first sent them off into a random direction. Then Taibo decided to go after them with the help of Sakari and Benjiro and Rafa, with Onomu sort of being forced along. Intercepted the Rough Rhinos and sort of messed with them enough to at least stop them from doing something. It was a weird time. Anyway, our heroes are continuing on their journey to Ba Sing Se, but we have already done this journey before, once previously back in Kyoshi era. So the camera pans, sort of overlaying images of the first journey that our heroes, not these heroes, but our previous heroes went on, you know, where Karma and Avani and Aya and Talarak all sort of learned how to get along and like learned what Uno was and created salads and all this other stuff, just sort of overlaid with the image of these four friends who also have a random person along who's more just kind of using them as an Uber. But oh yes,
This is an Onomu hate club. All my homies hate Onomu.
I hope take two. I want us to know that Benji's totally making us play Uno as we're taking this journey.
we cut to two images, two little like B-rolled images. One of Avani struggling to play Uno and Benjiro just fully destroying everyone at Uno, and a Morgan-centric character arc for herself as the player and not as the characters.
So real. The real friends was the Unos we made along the way.
Going in the notes.
Yes, well, as they take a very similar journey, they eventually make their ways to the walled city of Ba Sing Se. Yes, Oz.
Before we move too far away from Uno, I want to know, are there like new versions of Uno coming out since it's been like hundreds of years?
Okay, I'm gonna roll. We'll roll the 2d6. We'll do the regular standard thing. 2 to 6. No new versions have been created. It's all been standard Uno this whole time. 7 to 9, I'll say maybe like 1 or 2 new versions, and then 10 and up is there's a variety of all kinds.
One.
I got double sixes.
Yes!
It's a full 12. So
Meant to be, baby!
not only is there multiple versions of Uno everywhere, there are different rules per which nation you're in. So like the Fire Nation has its own set of rules, the Earth Kingdom has its own set of rules, the Northern Water Tribe and the Southern Water Tribe each have their own separate type of rules. The Air Nomads have been wiped out, so they did have a set of rules at one point, but that's lost to time. And yes, the Foggy Swamp sort of have a set of rules, but they also confuse it with a lot of other card games. So it's like you're playing poker and you're also playing Uno at the same time.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Can anyone in the Foggy Swamp read, or is just Talarock illiterate?
You mean Taibao?
Shit. You brought up.
We're,
I'm off the game today.
we're blending characters. Let's find out. That's a 9. So everyone else in the Foggy Swamp can in fact read in some form.
Alright, Tybo's great. Love that.
They have like their own swamp language, writing language, but not
I
like,
feel like I know that one and not common, but the other ones also know common.
yeah. You were like, I just need one language, and that's music. Ding.
So true.
Okay, but we enter on the walled city of Ba Sing Se. It is during the war, prior to it being assaulted by the Dragon of the West. So the city isn't as super like locked down yet. They haven't been really threatened by anything. You do sort of easily make it into the city. However, you're on the outer ring of it. The inner ring is much harder to get into, but currently you're the 5 of you, the 4 of you plus Onomu, are able to get into the outer ring of Ba Sing Se pretty easily, which is, even in this time, still kind of like a dump. It's very much just like none of these people were rich enough or fancy enough to be inside the middle ring. So they're getting stuck out here. And that's where you find yourselves now. You've been set up with like a weird pseudo apartment that like is half of a room. It is a room that's been cut in half by a screen, and you have one half of that room for all 5 of you. And you can hear like a bunch of weird animals and people on the other side of the screen just like being stuck together.
Hold on. Being stuck together?
Like stuck in the same room, not stuck together like
Okay.
stuck, yeah.
Being taken glued together, like the weird elementary school
Seems like
teaching.
this can't be what Josh means.
Yeah, this is where they create all the animal hybrids, just in this other room. No,
Hey,
not
Josh.
canon.
I don't like. Hey, Josh.
All right, but yeah, you are currently in a room. Onomu is with you still. Upon entering the city, though, she did request to try and find Longfang, who is sort of like at this point in time, is just recently coming into like his sort of power. Like he's still very young. He's just recently been given this new position, but like he's very efficient. The reason he got this far as he did is because like he was able to get through a lot of red tape in terms of like moving up the ranks in a very fast pace. But yeah, she sort of requested to see him, but no one's like let her in or anything like that, and so she's just kind of waiting for the system to make its way through to eventually get her into the middle ring to see him. Is there anything the 4 of you would like to do while I guess you're stuck in this dead waiting type thing? Yes, Cass.
I would like to complain about how small the room is.
Complain just in general or like to someone specific?
Both.
Okay. Would Rafa seek out in the general when you're looking for someone specific to complain to? Would you seek out like someone who looks like they're in charge, or just like people around the neighborhood?
Probably someone in charge. But first, I would complain to the group, and then go seek out someone. Once I complain to them, I'm gonna come back to the group to complain some more.
Perfect. And how many days do you think you've spent complaining?
That's probably the only thing Rafa talks about.
Okay, wonderful. During one of your trips out to complain to someone like official looking, because there are like some guards who like patrol around just in case of riffraff and such. And every single time they're like, we have nothing to do with this. We can't help you. You have to go take it up to another chain of command. So like you leave, come back next day. You go to who you think is next in command, because like they'll be like, go to this building, and you go to that building, complain. They tell you to go to another building. You leave, complain to friends. Go next day, go to the next building. It's just been this cycle, so you're actually getting to know the outer ring pretty well, just on accident of wanting to complain. But on one of those trips,
Progressively gets worse. It's just I'm complaining about the room, and then it grows into I'm complaining about how these people won't do anything about how small the room is. It's a horrible bureaucratic system of just chains. It's so cool. I want to talk to your manager. And you've just found the longest chain of managers ever.
yeah, I'm gonna have I'm just gonna refer you.
Confirmed.
I'm gonna refer you to. Okay, so yeah, but on one of your trips out to complain, you do start to notice some shady-ish. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. I think.
I killed.
Don't do it.
No, I acknowledged it, so now it's not gonna happen, and I hate when that happens.
True.
Anyway, a sneeze is gonna happen at some point, but we'll find out. Anyway, so during one of your trips out, third time I've started this sentence, you are able to at some point start realizing that there are some shady-ish like figures following you. Not shady in terms of like ruffian thief type, but like secret government organization type that are just sort of like keeping an eye on you as you continuously go back and forth between like complaining to some official who will send you somewhere else and then going back and complaining with your friends.
Interesting. Do I notice anything else about them?
They all look like they're wearing the same uniform. That's kind of it. So it's multiple
Do I
people.
recognize them at all?
You don't recognize the uniform at all. You've never been sort of like in Bossing Say at all, so you wouldn't have any context for it, but you would recognize sort of like the military-esque quality of it. But does Rafa tell anyone about what they end up seeing?
Yeah, in the middle of complaining, Rafa says, "Oh yeah, there's some weird, strange people following me. So you might want to be aware of that." And then goes back to complaining about how this long chain of command is inefficient. I feel like it's one of those cartoon moments where like Tybo's one of the strings just goes like boing.
Huh?
What'd you say? Which part? The people following you part. Oh yeah, there's some people following me, but you know this room could be much bigger. We're too close to each other. It's too hot. My skin is itchy, and I need some air. I mean, I might be able to help with the skin thing. I know about some plants that might help with some irritation. And I don't know, I could maybe like knock down a wall or something. I don't. What was that about the people following you? Like I said, there were just some strange people following me. But anyway, I talked to this person. Rafa. Bends down. Just scrunches so far down to Rafa's level. What did these people following you look like? People. Rafa?
So this person I spoke to, very rude, took me to this whole other department. And I was like, this is not the department I'm supposed to be speaking with.
I feel like the
Like,
scene fades out with Rafa still talking.
So I go out and
It fades back up. Rafa.
Yeah. It's the next day.
It does that. It cuts outside. Sunrise set. Sunrise set. Rise set.
so anyway, guys, what you been up to?
I feel like in the interim, Tybo has done 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
2.5 things. Tybo is working with Benji on finding the spirit of music that rests deep within our souls. And in the process of doing that, Tybo has begun writing a song.
Fun. Roll creativity. I'm gonna have both of you roll creativity. Benjiro and Tybo.
Morgan.
Josh.
Oh, really?
If I Venmo you a single dollar.
This one's just a fun one. This one isn't even like consequential.
What if it is? What about the spirit of music, Josh?
We'll find out. Morgan, what did you roll?
I got a 5.
Not that bad.
A 9. I'll say
Working 9 to 5.
I'll say because it's a partial success, Tybo, you're finding it really difficult to sort of like help Benjiro out because of the heat and the cramped space and everything. You're more used to the open space of the swamp.
Yeah.
Open space of the swamp. There's so many trees. But
If there's open.
yeah, but it also is kind of dense at times. Anyway, but yeah, you're more used to more open spaces to do music, and so Benjiro, you are just fully hitting a wall mentally in terms of like learning this stuff, just because it is also really hot, and I think you're also used to more open spaces. I think almost everyone here is used to more open spaces than what the outer walls of Bossing Say provide.
And the song that Tybo is writing, it's a long, long way to Bossing Say. I can't think of how the next part goes, but I like how it's coming along so far. I'm making Tybo the canonical writer of that song.
The one that Iroh sings?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, it's canon now because no one else
canon
claimed it in
now,
everything.
baby!
All right.
And the other thing Tybo is doing in the interim, that was the 1.5.
Or
The
is
other one
it
is
copyrighted?
trying to work with Sakari on more swamp bending
Okay.
/ water bending.
Cool. I'll call this one. Let's roll. Tybo roll harmony, and Sakari can roll focus.
Okay.
Okay.
Oof, that's a dirty 12.
Yeah, well, I got my full 12. 660.
Not.
What?
Oh, +0. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
0.
I was like, where did the third number go?
651.
Ah, nice. All right. So with 2 12s, yeah, it's you found somehow that with losing the spirit of music, the spirit of bending is much easier to tap into. Don't know how that was relevant, but it worked. As like Tybo is able to more accurately describe, especially with like drawing pictures. You now have walls that you can draw on. So like you've been drawing on the walls, sort of similar to like scrolls, to sort of help guide with more of the movements.
I feel like I don't know if Tybo would do that. I feel like it's more like Cole or something on the hand and does the movements on the wall and it's like, okay, follow this with your hand.
Oh
now.
yeah. So I will say with that, I mean, we're in the middle of the session, but at some point, Megan, you can find another waterbending technique that you would like, and add it to your like learned section of techniques.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if you'll have time right now, but at some point before next session.
Okay.
All right. But so that what everyone is, or I guess that's mainly what's been happening with Taibo. What has been happening with Benjiro?
Um, so I feel like Benji wants to get out and move because, like you said, um, well, I think we covered this before, but Benji hasn't been to Ba Sing Se, right?
No, you have not been inside the walls before.
Okay. Benji kind of wants to go out and explore, um, just to see what's around and be with the people that I don't know, just to go around and explore.
All right. You go out exploring. It's very, very densely populated. Much different than what you're used to. You do happen to, at some points, recognize a few people. You kind of recognize some people from your passenger ship from way back in the first session that you were on, as
Yeah.
some of those people had made their way to Ba Sing Se at some point.
Okay. I'm just gonna stop and say hello to all of them, and not like just stop and wave, I guess.
Some of them give you confused waves as because you just had decided to hold yourself up in your room. They don't really recognize you. The little kid who I think you gave a dagger to does recognize you and kind of like holds up the dagger and it like throws it and it's gone. It's like ah, and then the kid runs to go find it.
Oh no. Okay. I guess I'm gonna go try to help the kid go find it.
You haven't easily you're used to like tracking down the daggers and such out of time, so you find it pretty easily.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're just sort of walking around, getting to know everyone.
Mhm.
And then what has Sakari been doing during this time?
Because we're in the, you said the outer ring.
Yeah, the outer ring.
Yeah, I think Sakari's been like not sneaking around, but just like sticking to the shadows and observing people, specifically like observing female benders and kind of like
Oh,
watching, but not being seen like hood up, just
right.
observing people in the city and trying to like watch the way that people are behaving here to blend in better.
Okay. Do you think at any point, because Rafa has been going out, that you've sort of been trying to follow M, or have you been like avoiding the spots Rafa has been going to?
Are we skipping in time to after Rafa said that people are following him?
Yeah, this will be within that time frame, like right before Rafa reveals that information.
The
Okay, I
person
don't think
following
so
Rafa
before
was
the
just
reveal.
Sakari all along.
Yeah, just Sakari secretly. No. Okay, so you're going in different spots. Okay. I'm gonna say you as well because you are people watching. You also clock the same sort of thing that Rafa has been seeing. Just a couple different people, of course, but the same sort of like weird military vibe, same uniform. Just kind of as you are sticking to the shadows, people watching and learning some of the fun bending styles that the Earth Kingdom has to offer. You notice these weird like agents. It's very much like the undercover police. Like you'll just kind of be walking, you'll see two of them in like a tea shop near the window, and just sort of like, were they looking at me? Then walk on, and then you'll see them pass again at some point, or like you'll look behind you, and then they're sort of off in the distance.
Did I notice any of that when I was out and about?
Uh, I will say, well, because you're connecting with people, I will say yes, but not as closely as Rafa or Sakari, because you're more interacting with people. So there's a little bit more of a separated attention than it is with the other two who are purely going to a place to complain and just watching people.
Also, would it be enough time for us to like rest and stuff?
Oh yeah, you can clear any of your fatigue that you have. You've got enough time. Yeah, Oz.
What about my conditions?
The conditions can only be cleared in very specifically in two ways, which is either the specific things you do to clear them, like the lashing out and personal sacrifice and so on, or through guiding and comfort actions that others do.
I was worried about that.
Yep.
Worth a shot.
I mean, there are a
Question.
few during combat, but other than that, yeah, those are the only two real ways.
We'll go storm.
How does one get rid of the angry condition? I don't remember.
You have to either break something important or lash out at a friend, and important can be like important to
Oh.
you or important to the story.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Because I think Oz cleared it once by breaking the strings on the guitar on their fourth string, like that. Not Oz, Tybo. Oz is not Oz right now. Anyway,
Oz isn't Avatar.
at some
No,
point,
I'm stuck.
after Rafa's revealed it, and I assume Sakari sort of like reconfirms that like yeah, it's a similar thing has been happening. Um, Within another day or two, you get a knock on the door.
Who is it?
No answer.
Is there a peephole in this door?
No.
Rafa just opens the door.
You open the door and you see that there's like a scroll sitting there.
I pick it up.
Pick it up, bring it inside. Do you open it and read it, or do you hand it off to be read?
I open it and read it.
You open it and read it. The scroll states, to our mysterious visitors, it would seem that you have a person of interest between us. We haven't. We recently heard about their inquiries into finding one Long Fang, and he would be pleased to meet you if you would meet us here at this spot. And it shows like on a map like rough drawing of some buildings, like some landmark identifiers and like an X as to where to be.
Okay. I read it out loud to the group.
You also know there's a PS at the bottom which says, for this first meeting, do not bring your friend. It should just be the four of you.
That's a little sus.
What friend are they talking about?
You see, yeah, you see Onomu in the corner just kind of pipe up. I believe they're talking about me.
It's like one of those things of like, there's a slight pause. We all turn and look at Onomu. And then
I think we should go.
I mean, should we all go? This kind of feels a little suspicious, a little dangerous.
But who doesn't like a little bit of danger? We could check it out all together.
Yeah, and then they have all of us in the trap.
Not necessarily.
Look, this Onomu huddles a little closer. Look, Onomu's clearly into some like shady dealing.
Actually, hold on. Before we get into talking about Onomu, everyone give me rolls of harmony. We're gonna see on the road, sort of, if you were able to connect to Onomu a little bit easier, just because there's a lot of time.
I got a 9.
I got a
Dirty
10.
8.
And an 8.
I also got an 8.
Okay. So it's all sort of mixed success. So Onomu still was sort of standoffish, but she did at some point sort of reveal in sort of like a night of random Uno playing, where there was also some drinks that you happen to have found at some point. Onomu revealed that the reason that they're sort of trying to get to Ba Sing Se is that they found some plans that a general was going to propose to the Fire Lord, which Sozin was going to this isn't Sozin at the time. Sozin's dead. Azulan was going to run with that Onomu didn't agree with, because it was like a non-honorable way to go about continuing like it was more of like an actual, because to her this isn't really like a war. This is like just more of like colonizing type deal of just trying to spread I know it's still bad, but it's not like a like she knows sort of that the Fire Nation is this is pretty much a singular side making the push, and it's just meeting resistance instead of like two sides going against each other evenly. Um, but the reason that she is out here is because she stole these plans that would launch into like full war. Essentially, it was like this plan to like I guess hit more vulnerable. You don't know the full details because she won't tell you, but details of hitting like more vulnerable spots of the Earth Kingdom to like weaken the Earth Kingdom strongholds that are around. And she didn't agree with that tactic because it's kind of like underhanded instead of like our army will meet your army here kind of deal and we'll see what happens, or like maybe we can settle this a different way. So she stole those plans and made a run for it, fully knowing that this was like treason. And so her whole idea is to try and get to Ba Sing Se to deliver it to the Earth King so that they have an idea of what's actually happening rather than like what some of the propaganda has been going on. She's still fully in for like Fire Nation's still doing a good thing. Fire Nation is still like
Still a colonizer. Got it.
yeah, it's still in her mind. This is just like one rogue general trying to corrupt the Fire Lord. Then it is like the entire Fire Nation is here to like destroy the world.
Well, I'm gonna go. If you don't, you guys don't know.
Well, I'm all for going. I'm just saying we should be smart about this.
Do we have to respond now? Do we need to give them our answer now? Are they still at the door?
There was no one at the door when you opened it. It was just a letter, or a scroll. The assumption is probably that they're gonna have someone posted waiting, like day and night, kind of.
Yeah.
So we can come up with a plan and then go tomorrow.
Yeah. Is there any way we can have a Nomu or a Nomu? Would you be willing to slink around and keep an ear out?
Well, unfortunately, being more stealthy and slinking around isn't really my style and sort of what I'm good at. I could always try something new, I guess.
Never too late to learn a new skill.
Or just be obvious. I mean, they know you're here. If you stand around in the area, at least you're hopefully would hear our screams if they start killing us.
I suppose that's true. You are a rather loud bunch.
Excuse me.
Taibo is tuning the fortune. Is like, I take offense.
Benji is going to take his, I'm assuming he has a dagger in his hand. He's gonna, and is there a table in this room?
No.
Is there any sort of wooden thing in this room?
Just the floor and the walls and the ceiling.
Well, Benji is going to take the knife and stab it into the floor as hard as possible.
This is why I was complaining about the rain.
And you know what? You were right to complain. This is no table.
Yeah, this is a very cramped space, and we're all getting angry.
It's the outer ring of Ba Sing Se. Also called the lower ring.
Okay, not one tiny table.
No, none of you brought any furniture, so no.
Wait, we
I
don't have
can't
bed
have
either?
any table.
Just like bed mats are a lot easier to buy than a table.
But they were not provided.
No, they were not provided.
I feel like because of that, Benji's also angry because he fucked up his back. I feel like that's something that would totally happen.
All right, take a fatigue.
Gosh dang it.
Morgan, never speak.
I guess. Apparently.
Josh will weaponize any words you use.
Take a fatigue for some bad sleeping.
Ugh.
It's a. Is it their fault or sleeping on a wooden floor? Or the ground?
It's fine. Josh hates me. That's what it is.
I mean, everyone could, but no one else said that their back was bad.
I slept in a tree, so I don't. It doesn't matter.
Wait a minute, where'd you get the tree?
Earlier in a previous
Last
sessions.
I slept in a tree.
I feel like Tybo has been bringing home leaves for bed.
Just gathering leaves.
Make a bed.
Swamp bed. But okay, so you've decided to like make a plan and then head to the X marks the spot. Okay. What is this plan that you're going to? I guess now would be a good time to sort of figure out a plan.
I'm the master plan.
So what's the plan?
Oh, I don't have a plan.
I thought you were the master of plans.
Yes.
Right, so you would be the one to make the plan if you were to go into something with a plan.
Okay, so here's the plan.
Okay. Rafa, I cannot help but notice that you are not saying anything. Rafa, your silence upsets and disturbs me.
Abed, how many times do I have to tell you? We're not in a TV show. No one's gonna cut away. You can actually just speak.
That was my bit.
I see.
But anyway, I don't have a plan other than go to the spot and see what happens.
Right. Is everyone else on board with this?
I mean, has anyone ever dealt with Earth Kingdom secret law people before? Like, how should we inspect them?
If your question is have you, I would say not these specific ones, but in general sense, you've dealt with stuff like it. To just Benjiro.
Benji, you have?
Kind of.
What are they like? What should we expect?
Well, what should we expect, Josh?
I will say that because so far they've just been observing you, there doesn't seem to be any like threat of danger. Because obviously they would have arrested you as quickly as they could if they were going to be like dangerous or anything like that. They've just sort of been watching you. So at the moment there doesn't seem to be any like real danger involved.
It doesn't seem like they're necessarily a threat right now, but we should still be on our guard.
What information are we willing to give up to them? We should probably figure that out.
What?
What like information would we be willing to tell them? I think we should come up with a plan for what we're gonna say.
What information do they want to? Is the real question.
Yeah.
Because they just said, "Hey, let's meet at the spot," and we were like, "Yeah, we'll go."
Correction. You were like, "Yeah, we'll go." I was very hesitant and afraid.
That's what I said. Anyway, so we were like, "We're gonna go." We decided we were gonna go, and so we're gonna go. I think that we should not give them any information.
We agree on this.
like skirt around the information.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like politicians. Just go answer around the question.
100%. Tybo leans to Sakari's like, what's a politician?
Tybo does not know about politicians.
How's that in the swamp? No.
There's no hierarchy in the swamp.
No, we're all just kind of egalitarian communal.
Okay.
How?
Tybo does not know what politicians are, but does know about egalitarian societies.
How?
About egalitarian.
Morgan, don't write this down.
It's in the notes.
Take it out of the notes.
Oh.
I beg of you.
So right now the only plan is go.
It
I
would
mean,
seem.
what information do they have? They know who we are, presumably, and they know we have a Nomu.
Mhm.
Does anyone have like a horrible criminal record that they're gonna try to get us for?
Should we give them like fake names and stuff?
I don't know that that's smart. I don't know.
I think they already know who we are.
Yeah,
Did
I
they
know.
just my name in the paper?
Specifically us.
I mean, if
Has
they
anyone been given fake names this whole time? Because I have not been. So they probably know my name.
Tybo has war flashbacks to Bowtie and just kind of like, yeah, we should probably not go with fake names.
Well, as the leader of the group,
Again, we've not held an
I think
election.
that we go and maybe one stays behind. We can maybe set a trap or something in case things go awry. And then maybe have a Onomu somewhere for extra backup if necessary. And we should strictly get information and only give information as needed if it is beneficial to us. And then we leave.
All right, I think maybe I'll be the one to hang back a little bit. I don't know how good I'm gonna be at this whole subterfuge thing. I'm not exactly a keep it cool down low sort. In case y'all haven't noticed.
All right, so you head off with Rafa, Sakari, and Benjiro going to sort of be at the spot with Tybo and Onomu sort of back further-ish away, enough of like in earshot to be able to like in case you scream or anything, they can hear you. But you get to the spot, sort of walking. It's a secluded area of the outer ring, which is kind of hard to find. But it is like as you're walking, you see that there's less and less people around. There's no real way to account for why everyone's sort of like avoiding this place. But you get to just this clearing. It's just like an empty section of no people around. It's kind of like where a bunch of alleyways sort of meet up together. And you see, as you're like the three of you are standing there for a little bit, kind of looking around, trying to figure out who's supposed to be there. Out of the shadows steps three figures. Two of them are dressed in the sort of like. Actually, no. What? Yeah, I'll say yeah. So two of them are dressed in those in the Daily Agent robes, which are the things that the people you've been seeing around, sort of. It's not the exact people you've been seeing, but it is the outfit that you've been seeing as you've been followed around. And behind them is a younger gentleman. He's got a long braided like ponytail. He has very nice robes. He's got like the white hammer-ish pants like situation. I don't know what they're actually called, but you know,
Like
think
parachute.
Oh,
yeah, but there's another name for that for what they're supposed to actually be, but they are similar to parachute pants. I don't remember what the actual name is. Though.
I'm pretty sure they are hammer pants.
Really, in the when they were first made, they were called hammer
Yeah,
pants.
for using hammers as a blacksmith. Josh.
All right. Okay. Fine. Sure.
Anyway, we're fighting MC Hammer.
Yeah. So yeah.
We are
Uh,
fighting MC Hammer.
these three step out, and the gentleman who's behind the two uh, looks at you three. So it's just three of you, is it?
Of course.
Good enough for me. Now, I wanted to discuss some terms.
Which terms are you wanting to discuss?
Well, I know that your friend is searching for me. Quite frankly, I happen to know that she's got some information that she wants to give me. I would very much like that information.
And which information are you seeking?
I heard, unless she hasn't told you, she has some pretty important war plans that, should they fall into the wrong hands, would be bad for the Earth Kingdom, and I assume the world in general.
Who would you consider the worst hands?
Why, anyone other than mine.
Interesting.
Now, anyway, I came to talk to you about procuring these plans. Just because I feel like you're far more reasonable than your average Fire Nation general.
Perhaps. But I am unsure about this information.
Do me a favor, because you're the one talking. Roll harmony for me. Yeah, we'll say harmony. We'll roll harmony for this.
I rolled a 7.
7. You get the feeling that he's hiding something about why he wants the hands, and sort of like this is like his this is the peaceful way of doing it. I have a much easier way of getting the plans if I wanted to, but this is like the non-messy. That's sort of like the vibe you pick up from him talking.
I see. I take a step closer. And I say, so you say that your hands are the right hands for this information. But why do you need this information?
Well, it's important to the Earth Kingdom, of course, and the Earth King himself would be very pleased to get this. But I think what you should be asking is what's in it for you and each of your friends.
Then what is it?
Well, I know that one of you is seeking passage to the Southern Water Tribe, and we could easily procure such travel in a safe way that doesn't deal with pirates. I know another one of you might want, I don't know, some sort of pardon for some previous activities that they were a part of, and at least another one of you might want some amnesty, maybe some information that we have on somebody you're looking for.
That doesn't sound like us at all.
Roll creativity for tricking and people.
All of us, Josh?
No, just Rafa, because they're the one talking.
I got a 12.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you get 2 of 3. Do you want to be able to take a +1 for attacking against them? Do you want them to give you some additional opportunities, or do you want them to just sort of, or do you want them to be deceived for some time?
Have them be deceived for some time.
Cool. And then you get one other one.
And the first one.
Okay, so a +1 to acting forward against them. Cool. Okay, so you see he looks at you. There's a weird look of like, did he get the wrong information? My apologies then. I guess I should have said you'd have a favor that I owe you.
Interesting. Well, since
After all, I mean, no one really cares what happens to the messenger so long as the message gets delivered, right?
sure. Do you have a time frame?
Well, I'll give you, I'll say 3 days to bring the message to me.
Sure. And is this the spot you prefer to meet at?
Oh, no. I'll send another word when the 3 days are up.
Then great. 3 days it is.
And they sort of like back into the shadows. You hear some shifting of earth and then they're gone. The three of you now kind of stand alone in this alley, meet up spot.
Josh, how much of that was I able to hear?
You were only close enough to hear if anyone was yelling, and they were all sort of talking in more hushed tones.
Okay, cool.
So you didn't hear anything, any like danger happening. So you assume everything's fine, but you didn't hear any words being.
Well, how'd it go?
They're giving us 3 days to deliver the information in Onomu.
Or
Or maybe something bad happens to us. But if we do it, we get a favor. But they don't think that we're us, so I guess that helps. So 3 days. They'll send someone.
did they specify what the favor was? Is it like a bigger apartment? Because
No. At first they were like offering like a pardon and some thing about someone doing something and bad things in the past and uh
like
Transport.
what?
I don't know. They didn't specify what. They just said that there's that, and I said no.
Are
But
we
it's
in a main
nothing.
area or are we in the street?
You're still sort of in. I think probably you've wanted to get to Taibo and sort of separated away from Onomu because doesn't need to be involved in this conversation.
Yes. But they claim that this man is the person whose information needs to get to. They claim that they're going to take this information to the Earth King, but I have my doubts.
All right. So what do we do now?
And we can either confide in Onomu, or we do something about it ourselves.
Hmm.
I mean, this was a no-move goal, right? To get it to him.
But if we don't trust that,
I say we talk to Onomu.
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Do you talk to Onomu just here in the street, or do you like head back to your weird apartment?
We go back.
Apartment.
Okay.
Shitty apartment.
Tiny apartment.
Get back to the weird apartment. Cass, I'm gonna have you shift your balance 1 towards I'm gonna say society. Just because you chose more to work towards like the bigger picture than it is to like grab an easy win for yourself kind of deal.
we live in a society.
I was gonna say it if you weren't.
Actually, let me double check that playbook to know that I did that right. Because that's one of the ones that I don't have clicks on right now.
Ugh, I'm back to
You have the
One.
fancy playbook, Cass? Ooh.
Yes, sir.
what?
There it is.
You have the fancy playbook that Josh doesn't have notes on.
We're being the
Well, because the GM screen just gives me the normal basic ones, but I have the two.
You're weird?
Oh, actually. No, yeah, society's good.
society.
Yeah, because it deals with the truth of society and the boons and stuff. But yeah, I'll say that more fits with what's happening. Yeah. Okay. So you head back to the apartment, if you can call it that, the room. And you get there and Onomu and sort of like make some tea. It's bossing say, so like it's good tea, but it's also not the best quality tea. Because it
I'm
is
sorry.
the outer ring.
We don't have a table, but we can have tea.
Yeah, they're not savages.
Give us
Who's
beds!
Who's bringing the tea?
I would also.
Where are we? Do we have a stove?
Oz, I would also like to check your Eurocentric thinking. As in Avatar, they only ever had bedrolls. They never had like flat out beds of like.
And you said they didn't provide us bedrolls, so.
Yeah, you came in with bedrolls. You
We had bedrolls?
You traveled with them, didn't you?
I don't remember.
Well,
Tybo doesn't own things.
if you had travel supplies, you would have had a bedroll with you. But
Tybo
if not, then
absolutely
okay.
does not have travel supplies.
If not, then okay. All right. Well, then yeah, no beds provided. Just.
Tybo has leaves.
But yeah, they
And I
have.
think that's enough.
They had like a thing to make some tea with and such. Pretty easy. Anyway, so yeah, you were there.
There was nowhere to put our tea.
Is it?
Yeah, do we have cups?
Someone made a to-go cup, so I assume so.
We have one cup that we're sharing from.
I don't know. Benjiro, do you think you would have made multiple to-go cups along the way, as it was your invention?
I feel like, yeah, I feel like that's something that Benji would do to pass the time.
Okay, then sure. Everyone's got their own to-go cup, all engraved. Benjiro has like designed them very specialty.
It's like
We
a
have
Starbucks.
but not bedrolls.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll get on it. Benji will get on it on making bedrolls.
This isn't your. You didn't give us the apartment.
Benji is still gonna make bedrolls for everyone to make it feel better.
Tybo just starts shoving leaves into like sheets to make bedrolls.
Cut back to the Kyoshi era when you had the name Kyoshi to work with, and you were in the inner circle. The inner walls of Bossing say, and we're like very the middle ring, and we're very much in a very pampered, nice, sweet apartment with all the luxuries. And cut to now descendants of, and you're all just.
If I shove enough leaves in here, it'll be just like the real thing.
Oh man, how times change.
Tybo is hunched in a corner like a gargoyle.
But yeah,
Shoving leaves.
you got your little to-go cups. You're like drinking some tea.
Morgan,
as
don't put that in the notes.
you.
Put it in the note.
All right, we'll put to a vote. Everyone, all in favor of it going into the notes, raise your hands.
Can someone repeat what needs to go into the notes?
Nothing. Nothing needed to go into the notes.
Tybo shoving leaves in the corner to make the bed.
Tybo punched in corner.
I believe the terminology was shoving leaves.
Shoving
Tybo
leaves.
You caught my prop work. It was N apostrophe shoving.
But yeah, so you're all in your drinking to-go cups of tea. As you are now back in your four walls, and can discuss your next steps.
All right, so Rafa, you want to fill Onomu in?
Yeah.
Fill Onomu in. Sort of everyone pitching an idea, but Rafa for the most part takes it. Everyone juts in every once in a while to add some details. Onomu looks. Do you reveal that Long Fang had originally gonna be who you assume we were meeting because it was different than the others. Do you assume that he? Do you tell him? Do you tell them about um the fact that he originally had different offers before going to the favor, or do you ignore that part?
I ignore it for now.
Okay. Um. So you ignore the part about the transport and the pardon and the information. And you just said give it a favor. You see Anomu thinks for a little bit. Well, I was sort of hoping that I could get a residency, not in this specific spot of Ba Sing Se, but in Ba Sing Se to sort of like, I don't think the Fire Nation is going to allow me back in. If this goes, I was hoping to have some sort of like,
Asylum.
thank you. I had that in my head previously, and I
I
got
knew
to
what
this
you were
moment and
looking
lost
for.
it. Yeah. But yeah, I was hoping to find some sort of asylum here, I guess, sort of just to live out the rest of my life.
Sure.
I mean, I guess if it's just you, I guess the apartment might be big enough, but I feel like you would deserve a little bit bigger.
Can you explain to us more about the the details of this information and why you're bringing it to the Earth King?
All right, I'm gonna have you roll harmony for plead with NPC this time around.
Rafa never pleads.
That's just what the movie called. You can call it one.
So good news?
Get a 4.
Oh, and no help action will get you anywhere towards success. You see, Anomu looks at you, uh, um, sort of considers it for a little bit, and then, uh, no, I don't think so because, frankly, I recognize Fire Nation when I see it, and I don't really think that you should have the plan.
Ain't you Fire Nation?
Yeah, that's why I said I recognize it when I see it.
And you're turning on your own like that?
I'm not turning on them. I'm just trying to stop a general from making a big mistake.
How dare you assume I would make a mistake? Anyway, I don't care about the details anymore. What I want to know is why does it specifically need to be you to bring this information to the Earth King?
You see that Anomu contemplates for a little bit, and you see that there's this bit of like, uh, should she give up these plans, she'll probably die should staying here. So it's one of those. You realize that it's sort of like a uh, she, she's gonna. The only reason she's still holding onto these plans so tightly is that it's the only thing ensuring her survival inside of the Earth Kingdom, as she has no other guarantee outside of that she'll be alive.
Okay. Okay, now I tell her about the pardon deals and the favor.
Well, I don't need. Well, I guess I don't know why I would need a pardon or transportation to the Southern Water Tribe, or information on another person. Why did any of you need any of that?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, do any of those sound like offer specific to any of you? I mean, I'm on a bit of a walk around, so I wouldn't mind voyage to the Southern Water Tribe. It wouldn't. I don't know if it's my first choice, but
We can go on vacation.
Yeah.
I
like
don't
that.
know that. I don't know if the Southern Water Tribe would be a fun place to vacation right now.
Why?
No reason.
My favorite moment was is watching two of you sort of be like, "Yes, I know exactly which one is for me," and one of you fully ignoring it.
None of those are for Tybo.
Well, because you weren't in the alleyway.
No, they. What would have been Tybo's? Hold on.
What would have been Tybo's? The chance to immortalize yourself in a, I suppose like a song, like you get to write an anthem for the kingdom, or for the
Oh.
Earth Kingdom, kind of deal. Excuse me, Oz.
Tybo's
Your
no shield.
excuse me, Oz. You have a role to do, which is spread your music everywhere, and you can make it all about the foggy swamp.
Okay.
That's right.
Oh my
I
God.
gotcha. No, I'm just kidding.
Fuck.
All right.
Do
Oh my God.
does Onomu know this person that we talked to?
Anomu's only knows them in terms of like, uh, you know how like in the military you would probably have an idea of who the other military leaders would be, or like anyone who would be of importance. That's the only way that she knows, and sort of like that sort of information. But she's never met him. She's never like interacted in any way. It's just been like, if you want to get information to the Earth King, it's go through this dude.
I don't trust.
We have 3 days, right?
Yeah.
What if we could guarantee that information gets to the Earth King by getting audience with the Earth King?
Sure, but how do you propose getting audience with the Earth King that doesn't cause any problems? We're here in the Outer Ring. Is there any more of Bossing say that I should be aware of? Because honestly, like looking around here, the Fire Nation could really help out this place. Like, look, I'm just saying, like, looking around here specifically and a few other places that we've been, the Fire Nation could be really helpful because like it could bring some order, it could bring supplies. You know, it's a lot of like.
Okay, why don't we put a pin in that idea, and we can circle back to that at some other point in time. I think it's most important that this information get to the Earth King so he can choose to greet the Fire Nation with open arms or prepare a proper military response.
Well, maybe Onomu has a point.
Or maybe Onomu's point is a little bit dull.
No. What I mean is, we can use Fire Nation as a way to get to the Earth King.
You have
Without
lost me.
attracting the other guy's attention, though, right? Because the second he finds out, he's gonna stop us.
That's true, but not. But only if they don't know. Only if they find out.
They're gonna know.
No.
We have to go in with a proper disguise.
And also leave this room without being seen by the people watching us.
We cut over to Benji and Tybo, just two very tall, very large men.
Benji goes to, because it's still, his hair is still up in a bun. Benji goes to take the bun down and lets the long hair flow down.
Mm.
Is this good enough of a disguise?
Oh,
Tybo
Pretty sure
lets
we
his
get
hair
better,
down
by
with
the
his
way.
massive, like, flowing mane.
we get it. You're hot.
Tybo and Benji have this just, like shiny cherry blossom petals moment. Like,
Back and forth.
We're all hot.
both of our hairs go down, they're just gently flowing in a wind that doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
What if, hear me out, one of you two go in as a Fire Nation general, and propose an audience with the Earth King. They've already seen me. I'm small. But you haven't been seen, Tybo. You'd be
Oh, dear.
perfect.
Oh dear. Fuck, I am the only one they haven't seen.
It is true. They did not keep tabs on you.
You'd be perfect.
I don't know if I have that Fire Nation look to me.
Also, I don't think any of our I also don't think any of our uniforms are gonna fit him.
Could we make one?
If you're gonna make one, roll creativity.
Let's do it.
Full, like 90s movie makeover scene. That
no.
one song is playing. Kiss me.
I got a 10.
Nice. Okay, so you are able to somehow pull together a Fire Nation General's outfit,
Wait.
stylizing it after Onomu's clothes, but able to fit Tybo.
Benji
time
knows
out.
how to.
Oh, go ahead, Morgan.
Oh, I was gonna say something stupid. Like Benji knows how to sew because of sewing up scars and stuff from getting injured.
Hey, Morgan, what does that mean?
It's from this insert.
Oh, and now we start slowly putting the pieces together as to who needs what favor. I see what's going.
We're solving a mystery.
Megan, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, Tybo, what color is Tybo's hair?
Like a pretty darkish brown.
Okay, dark enough we wouldn't have to like dye it if it was too.
We
like,
probably
light.
have to dye it
Yeah. Okay.
for the sake of fashion.
All right.
We've
Well,
come this far in the makeover.
you get Tybo all set up and looking like a Fire Nation general.
Are we like cutting Tybo's hair?
That is up to the group.
No. I mean, we can put it up in those fancy buns.
Probably more realistic too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much that scene from Beauty and the Beast where she's like, shh. I don't think Tybo's hair has been brushed. It's flowing and luscious, but there are tangles everywhere.
Rafa does something.
Incredible.
Takes about a day and a half. You get everything set up.
How bad do you think Tybo was?
No, a day and a half to like make the clothes and then get all dressed up and dyed hair and so on.
Manners.
Tybo
Etiquette.
is somehow even more attractive.
After a little bit, you hear another knock on the door, and of course, you open it and find just a scroll. And yet again, shows a meetup spot.
Wait, when?
Like another, so day and a half to get all this stuff made, and so a day and a half later.
Gotcha. I scroll. I read.
The scroll is essentially the same message, but this time with a different meeting location and different state of stuff. Of like meet
Is there
here.
any PS?
No, this time there's not a PS. You've been pretty good at like they've decided to give you your space, so like you haven't been followed this time around if you've gone out.
They're playing hard. Yeah.
Kiss me.
But I will say as you head out to go meet up to talk to. Well, wait. Are you trying to get straight to the Earth King, or are you just trying to meet up with Longfang again with the gen?
I'm going to the Earth
Right
King.
to the Earth King.
Oh, so you're just ignoring this one letter? You're just
You
going straight
guys
to the
want
Earth
to go
King.
there and maybe me go there?
Wait, I think some of us should be wandering around so that the secret police are following the people wandering around. And
I mean, if you guys go to the meeting, they have no reason to come looking for me.
right.
Well, that would mean if you want someone wandering around, they were following me earlier. Make more sense for me to go wandering But that would mean one of you would have to, or both of you would have to go to, one of you or both of you would have to go to the meeting. Both of you, assuming both of you. And then Onomu and Taibo will go to the Earth King.
Wait, if no one's going to the Earth King anyway, why am I disguised like this?
To get us to it's more of a to help.
I do
If
like
there's
to help.
two people rather than one, the one with both with higher status, then
I'm starting
you're
to
more
feel,
likely to get an audience with the Earth King rather than just one.
I'm starting to feel like this makeover was just because you wanted to give me a makeover.
Oh, pish posh! I don't know what you're talking about.
Rafa's shoving like makeup supplies under the bed roll.
So, Rafa, Sakari, and Benjiro head off to the meetup spot with Long Fang, while Taibo and Onomu are sent off to try and get to the Earth King. You have to make it through to the middle ring, of course. But on each of your ways there, as Rafa, Sakari, and Benjiro approach the meetup spot, it is empty once again until suddenly each of you feel a kind of a bonk on the head, and you black out, which we then cut over to Taibo and Onomu. As you are walking and somehow got through the middle ring, you hear a very familiar voice that says, "I can't believe they've let Fire Nation in here. Guess I'll have to do something about that." As you turn and we see Benta and a couple of the armadillo bears, and that is where we are ending today's session.
My love.
The makeover was a trap all along.
No.
Thank you for
For
joining.
fashion.
I have been Josh, your game master. Thank you to my friends Cass, Megan, Morgan, and Oz for joining me. Thank you all for watching once again. Oz, send us out.
Be sure. Yeah, I'm still not over this fashion betrayal. Okay. Be sure to hit that like button down below if you liked the video, or if you didn't, also hit the like button. Leave a comment down below on what fashion you would put all our Avatar characters in if you had the opportunity. And comment down below your favorite 90s movie makeover scene. Be sure to subscribe for more content and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss the next great installment of Avatar Legends Legacy of Heroes, Arc 3, The 100 Years' War.
Yeah, bye.
I realize this is a war of attrition that I cannot win, as you have more dice than I do. I look Nazi adjacent.
It's going in the B-roll.
No, not the B-roll.
Need to? Oh. Let me make a quick check as to.
Pause. Screen
Possible.
that says 3 hours later.
3 hours later of just me and versus.
3 hours later.
The four of us are just actually playing a game of Uno.
You know.
Ah, damn it! Who has a +2? Who has a +2?
Oh, I got one, I got one. Make it blue, I got it.
I win.
No!
Megan's out here with like Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something.
I drew all over some of the cards.
No, you did one of those like those videos where they like make the Pokemon card into like art.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Found it. Okay, cool.
Animals all over some of them.
Are you implying that Pokemon cards are not art?
I found what I was looking for. They're called. Oh, what would Avatar's equivalent of Pokemon be called?
3 more hours later.
Anyway, I found what I was looking for.